Our university and colleges around the country are turning their classrooms into cash registers by selling out and trading academics in favor of activism. You have a recent survey of over 400 universities. They found that nearly all are offering courses in what is called New Civics. Our next guest says those courses are designed to turn institutions of higher learning away from scholarships and towards left-wing advocacy. Professor Frank H. Buckley is a professor at George Mason University. He's at the Scalia Law School, and he's the author of The Way Back. Frank, first off, do you think this is organized?
Well, it's more like AstroTurf. What's happening is the federal government is pouring a great deal of money into colleges that have programs that train students to be student activists, and the ultimate goal is to make this a part of every course and indeed a condition for tenure for university professors. So it's really a takeover of scholarship in the direction of making little community organizers out of all of our students.
And when do you think this infiltration took place?
It's happened over the last 20-odd years. I mean, it's certainly increased over, the last 8 years, let's say. But it's really remarkable. It's under the radar screen. It's well hidden. It's there. But it took an organization called the National Association of Scholars to go out and actually see what was happening, and the results are shocking.
So the government can have some leverage here because it provides so much money to these universities. For example, at UC Boulder, $25 million per year. Colorado State, $15 million per year. University of North Carolina, $9 million per year. So with that could come some strings. What do you think, if you want to balance things out again, should those strings contain?
Well, I think, first of all, I see absolutely no reason why we should be training people to, or paying for students to do stuff which is totally unrelated to scholarship. I mean, we're giving money for scholarship for students who want to learn things. We're not giving money to teach people how to occupy buildings and go out and riot on the streets. I mean, that's not what it's all about. And we shouldn't be actually paying any money for that in terms of college grants. And in general, in terms of dedicating money to universities, I think what the Trump administration should be doing is looking at how faithful they are to the mission of basically doing ordinary good scholarship.
For example?
Well, for example, there's about $4 billion given towards, general purposes, which includes this new kind of civics. But there's another $25 billion which goes towards scholarship generally. And I think that in passing out that money, what the Department of Education should be looking at are things like, well, is this really about scholarship, or is this really about activism? And also, to what extent is academic freedom protected in universities? I mean, if universities permit students to embark on witch hunts against conservative professors, I think that's something that should be taken into account in terms of relations with the universities.
And it can start with the federal government because the leverage they have is the millions they put out. Professor F.H. Buckley, author of The Way Back, Restoring the Promise of America, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.